circuits. Okay, so yesterday we talked about current rating of fuse and current rating of the wires or switches also. So basically you have to remember one thing, that see, electric motor draws heavier current when it is switched on as compared to that when it is running condition. So whenever a motor starts, it demands more current. Okay, once it starts rotating, then the current drawn is steady and comparatively less. So the fuse for such applications where motor is installed in the circuit must be of a current rating somewhat more than the starting current. For example, a water pump, okay, pump is driven by the motor, okay, rated 1.5 kilowatt 220 volt, has a motor which draws current 10.4 ampere at the starting and then 6.8 ampere while running. So obviously you will have to install a fuse of rating which is slightly more than 10.4 ampere. Okay, the next current rating applicable is 10.5 ampere. Okay, you cannot install a fuse which is 7 ampere. हा, कारण ते सुरूच होणार नाही. सुरू करायला गेलं की फ्यूज उडला, मोटर चालूच नाही होणार. तुम्हाला वाटणार मोटर बिघडली आहे. मोटर नाही बिघडलेली, फ्यूज उडतोय सारखा. दिस थिंग्स हॅपन. हे माहित पाहिजे तुम्हाला. दॅट्स ऑल. Okay, so what is a MCB? MCB, as I told you yesterday, they are installed in your houses, maybe in the passage or maybe in the corridor. Inside your house. These are called miniature circuit breakers. Okay, this is a excellent invention which prevents fire hazards, sparking, etc., and which also acts quickly. Okay, म्हणजे काय होतं बघा, when heavy current flows in the line, the MCB falls. ट्रिप ऑफ म्हणतात त्याला, ट्रिप ऑफ होतं ते. तुम्ही बघा असं कधी कधी मे बी असं होतं, कधी कधी एकाच रूम मधले लाईट जातात किंवा कुठलं तरी एकाच पॅसेज मधले स्विच आणि हे वर्कच होत नाहीत. तर अशा केसमध्ये तुमचा तो एक MCB ट्रिप ऑफ झालेला असतो. तो युजली असा वरती असतो, तो असा खाली पडतो आणि त्याचा आवाज येतो, खटाक असा आवाज येतो. So if you go there and if you just pull it up manually, हातानी, प्लास्टिकचं असतं ते, then automatically the supply is restored. And see, these are electronically operated inside. त्याच्या आत इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सर्किट असतं, प्रिंटेड सर्किट बोर्ड असतो, PCB म्हणतात त्याला. तर तो असतो and the response time is very very small. तुमचा जो UPS असतो बघा, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी गेली की UPS टी असा आवाज करायला लागतो. So UPS, like backup म्हणतात त्याला, uninterrupted power supply, UPS is also works on the similar principle, right? So त्याचं पण roughly 20 milliseconds असतं. So the time required is very less. Response time जेवढा कमी असतो तेवढं चांगलं. So after repairing the fault in the circuit, the MCB is then raised up. Thus the use of MCB is more convenient than use of fuse. Because first of all, it avoids the inconvenience of connecting the fuse wire. आता फ्यूज उडाला, मग तो वायर बोलवा, मग इलेक्ट्रिशियनला बोलवा, मग इलेक्ट्रिशियन थोडा भाव खाणार, साहेब मला आता वेळ नाही, मी उद्या येतो, मी रात्री येतो, मी उद्या येतो, मग माझ्याकडे वायरच नाही वगैरे, कटकटच नाहीये. सो यू बेसिकली तुम्ही ते घालवूनच टाकलं. इट्स इझी, एनीबडी कॅन डू इट. And it is much safer due to quick response. So basically what happens in a fuse is, when high amount of current flows through a wire, the fuse wire melts. No doubt it melts, right? It has to melt, but since it is a physical wire, it takes some time to melt. तब तक क्या हो जाएगा, तब तक ये करंट पास हो जाएगा. And if the current passes through it and then the fuse wire melts, which is often the case, in old houses, old circuits, this was the case basically, then the appliances used to get damaged. मी बघितले ना लहानपणी, मी लहान असताना MCB नव्हते. MCB came recently, maybe 20 years ago or so. तेवढा तर मी काय लहान नाही आहे, राईट? 20 वर्षाचा नाहीये मी, राईट? तर हे जे MCBचे इन्व्हेन्शन आहे हे खूप चांगलं आहे. मी माझ्या लहानपणी बघितलेले आहे, फ्यूज उडला की आमचा एकदा टीव्हीचा फ्यूज उडायचा, एकदा कुठला तरी मिक्सर जिथे आम्ही लावायचो त्याचा फ्यूज उडायचा, अशा भरपूर गोष्टी व्हायची. अँड देन वी यूज टू कॉल इलेक्ट्रिशियन. नाउ डेज दॅट्स नॉट द केस. ओके, स्विचेस. So what is a switch? Again, switch is a off and on and off device which basically shuts the current in the circuit, or it makes the circuit, make or break basically. On and off device for current in a circuit or in an appliance. It is connected in live wire. Underline this. Fuse and switches. Fuses and switches are connected in live wire, not in neutral, not in earth. So now there are two types of switches. Single pole switch, okay, which is mostly connected in only live wire, म्हणून त्याला single pole असं म्हणतात. आणि दुसरा आहे double pole switch. So a single pole switch disconnects only the live wire from the appliance, which is normally the case. आपल्या घरामध्ये जे switches तुम्ही normally on and off करता fan साठी, bulb साठी, they are all single pole switches. Okay. Then we have double pole switch. The main switch at the distribution board used to switch on or off the mains is the double pole switch. A double pole switch disconnects both the live and neutral wire simultaneously. See, it is much safer. Okay, so double pole switch is usually used in the mains. Okay, where just beside, if you see there was MCBs किंवा जुन्या घरांमध्ये जिथं मीटर होता ना त्या शेजारीच असायचा, तर तिथं डबल पोल स्विच वापरतात. The dual control switch used in staircase etc. is also dual pole switch of special kind. So I think हे आहे का, एकदा चेक करा. आहे ना, ठीक आहे, good. All right, so this is how the switch is implemented. It should be in the live wire. This is on, and this is off. Needless to say that when it is on, the current will flow, the bulb will glow, and when it is off, in off position, the current will not flow, the bulb will not glow. Simple. Okay. Safety precautions while using a switch. So first of all, you should follow this safety precaution. The number one thing is do not use wet hands. ओल्या हातानी कधीही स्विच ऑन ऑफ करायचा नाही, गलती से भी नहीं करना है. ओके, नेवर बी टच्ड विथ वेट हँड्स. इफ वॉटर रिचेस द लाईव्ह वायर, सम ड्रिप करून ते आत जाऊ शकतं असं. It forms a conducting layer because the water we use is tap water, which is a mixture of minerals and etc. So it is a conductor of electricity between the hand and live wire of switch, due to which a current passes to the hand through it and the person may get a fatal shock. Okay. Circuits with dual control switch, staircase wiring. हे नाहीये, yes, हे नाहीये, पण नाहीये, हे कट केलेलं आहे. हे जो कन्सेप्ट आहे ना, हा ड्युअल स्विचचा, हा खूप इंटरेस्टिंग आहे. मी कधीतरी तुम्हाला सांगेन. मी फक्त एक एक्सप्लेन करतो तुम्हाला. ऍक्च्युअली इट इज व्हेरी व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. जस्ट एक्सप्लेन करतो. सो लेट्स से दिस इज अ स्टेयरकेस. ओके, सो यहाँ पे एक मंजिल है, यहाँ पे, और यहाँ पे एक है. सो लेट्स से योर बेडरूम इज ऑन द टॉप फ्लोर एंड योर लिविंग रूम इज एट द बॉटम. So what happens? There is a bulb here. Okay, इथे एक बल्ब आहे. रात्रीसाठी staircase मध्ये बल्ब आहे. So after retiring for going to bed, what do? You switch off the lights in the living room and then you switch on the light in the staircase only, right? And then you go up because you want to see where you are stepping, correct? नाहीतर धडपडणार कुठेतरी. म्हणून तुम्ही वरती गेला, and then when you reach your bedroom, who is going to go back and turn off the switch then? कोण जाणार परत? मूर्खपणा आहे हा, राईट? परत खाली जाऊन ऑफ करणार का? काय उपयोग आहे मग त्याचा? So what they do is they make two switches, one at the bottom and one at the top, near your bedroom, somewhere near your bedroom. So as soon as you reach the top floor, you switch it off so it cuts off. So basically ह्याला dual control म्हणतात, म्हणजे बल्ब एकच आहे but it can be controlled or operated from two different places. This same can be observed in some luxury bedrooms or in hotels also. If you happen to see go to a hotel, एकच रूम असते बघा, पण तुम्ही एंट्री केल्या केल्या तिथे बटन्स असतात आणि near the bed also there are some buttons. There you can switch on and off the fan and light etc. or bed lamp. So something like that. Is this clear? तर अरे ते डॉटेड म्हणजे दुसरी पोझिशन आहे, ओरिजिनल पोझिशन. कंडक्टर असतो त्याच्यात, बाकी काही नसतं, किल्ली सारखं असतं, कंडक्टर असतं, कंडक्ट करतं ते. हो, येस. Now we will talk about the important aspects, safety aspect, which is called earthing or grounding. So basically, it is usually called local earthing. So what local earthing means is, so from each and every socket in your house, कुठले जे तुम्हाला जे सॉकेट सापडतील ना तुमच्या घरातले, तिथे जो मेन जो मोठा असतो बघा, राईट, दिस होल, बिग होल is earthing. Why it is bigger in size? Because as I told you, current will pass through earth with least resistance. So it has to pass through least resistance. So least resistance matlab thicker wire, and right, thicker wire, and that causes the current to flow to earth easily. That's why the earth socket, the diameter is much more wider, as you can see, compared to live and neutral. खालचे दोन्ही लाईव्ह दोन्ही न्यूट्रल आहेत. So for this purpose, a hole nearly 2 to 3 meter deep is dug in the ground when the building is being constructed, when the foundations are laid. A copper rod or a thick copper wire covered by a hollow insulating pipe is inserted in the hole. हे बघा इथे दिसते, ही ह्याच्यामध्ये आहे, ही हॉलो पाईप आहे आणि ह्याच्यामध्ये थिक कॉपर वायर इन्सर्ट केली जाते. अँड दिस इज कनेक्टेड युअर, इथे दिले किलोवॉट मीटर, बट इट डझंट मॅटर, इट इज every socket has this wire basically, and those are taken to the kilowatt hour meter, and from there it is taken to the earth. So of diameter, a plate, this is the plate of 50 by 50 centimeter copper plate, is welded at the lower end of the copper rod, and it is buried inside the copper ground as shown in the figure. The plate is surrounded by a mixture of charcoal and salt to make a good contact between the plate and the earth. Why earth? Because earth is taken as the zero potential, like neutral. Okay, last time I told you. To keep the ground damp, water is poured through the pipe from time to time. I really doubt who does this. Have you seen anybody doing this? No, right? But we expect somebody to do this. Who is going to do this? घर बांधलं की संपला विषय, कोण बघतं ह्याला? But this has to be done. This forms a conducting layer between the plate and the earth or ground. The upper end of the copper rod is joined to the earth connection at the kilowatt hour meter. So सेफ्टी कसं मिळणार आहे तुम्हाला बघा. सो इफ ड्यू टू सम रिझन सच एज शॉर्ट सर्किट, सो लेट मी टेल यू व्हॉट इज शॉर्ट सर्किट. वी ऑफन यूज शॉर्ट सर्किट, वी रीड न्यूज पेपर्स, अरे शॉर्ट सर्किट मुळे आग लागली, इथे आग लागली, तिथे आग लागली, शॉर्ट सर्किट झालं. व्हॉट इज शॉर्ट सर्किट? बेसिकली शॉर्ट सर्किट इज नथिंग बट इफ यू कनेक्ट, डोंट डू दॅट, if you by chance the live wire gets connected to neutral directly, then without going into the load or without using something, for example, if I take a cell also and if I connect positive to negative directly without connecting the bulb, काहीच नाही, डायरेक्ट नेगेटिव्ह पॉझिटिव्ह डायरेक्ट मी कनेक्ट करून टाकलं वायरनी, then lot of current flows through the wire and the wire is incapable of handling that, and it causes sparking. This is called short circuit. Now बघा ना, short circuit direct. So in case of AC, alternating current, if live wire comes in contact with neutral wire somewhere in the concealed wiring somewhere, unknowingly, due to the wires getting degraded, aging झालंय, 20 वर्ष झाली, 25 वर्ष झाली म्हणून. And excessive current flows through the line wires. It will pass to earth through the earth wire if there is local earthing. Otherwise, the line wires may get overheated and it may cause a fire. So म्हणून fire sparking मुळे fire लागतं, and this is called short circuit. So how do you ground the appliance? So basically, if you observe the larger appliances which have metal casings in our households, for example, your fridge or your microwave oven or the heater, boiler, geyser, induction plate, okay, your washing machine, and maybe sometimes the CPU, computer तुमच्याकडे जर desktop असेल then CPU, all these have metal casings, and even iron istri. So if they have metal casing, then there are chances that the current may get leaked and it may come to the casing, okay, casing, metal casing of the appliance. And if inadvertently somebody touches the casing, and I told you, if the person is not wearing slippers or he or she is not standing on wooden plate or anything, then the leaked current will pass through the body and it will be grounded, and your body becomes the part of the circuit, and the person gets a shock, electric shock. So to avoid that, what happens? Again, the law of nature is applicable here. The current which is leaked from the appliance, okay, passes through the earth without going through your body, because it gets a least resistance path. Your body has a lot of resistance. Believe me, your body is not a good conductor of electricity. It is a conductor, but it's not a good conductor. Conductor म्हणू आपण. But if the current gets a path which has less amount of resistance, okay, then obviously the current will pass through that wire only, right? Why should it come to your body? Why should it pass through your body? No, right? So how it works is live, then we have fuse. फ्यूज के बाद स्विच आता है, पहले स्विच बाद में फ्यूज कोई काम का नहीं है. कुछ काम का है क्या? नहीं, पहले फ्यूज आएगा फिर स्विच आएगा. स्विच इज क्लोजर टू द अप्लायंस. रिमेंबर, फ्यूज इज बिफोर दैट. So this is the element of the appliance, and this is the metal casing, and this is the neutral wire. So from where the earthing is taken? The earthing is taken from the metal casing. एंड इसका जाके आगे क्या बनता है? प्लग बनता है. ये कहां से आएगा? प्लग. हैव यू सीन द प्लग? ऐसा ट्रायंगल टाइप होता है ना, इथे दाखवलंय ना. दिस इज प्लग, एंड व्हाट वी हैव इन, दिस इज द प्लग, 3-pin प्लग. दिस इज अर्थिंग, दिस इज लाइव एंड न्यूट्रल, दिस इज कॉल्ड प्लग. तो जो अप्लायंस से वो आता है ना, जो वायर, वो अर्थिंग में जाएगा, लाइव और न्यूट्रल यहां से आएंगे, खत्म. And this you plug it into the socket.
सर अप्लायन्स मध्ये पण लाईव्ह आणि असतं का कंपल्सरी? कशी जोडू शकतो?
नाही असतं ना, म्हणून कसंही कसं
नाही सर, म्हणजे आता चार्जर असेल तर लाईव्ह आणि न्यूट्रल. मग
सांगतो थांब. The symbol, this symbol is used for what? Earthing. Most often the metallic case of the appliance is painted. Here give reason आहे हे. This is a give reason. There are many give reasons now, huh? Here, the paint provides an insulating layer on the metallic body of the appliance. To make the earth connection, it is necessary to remove paint from the body part where connection is to be made. Paint remove करायला लागेल, तिथंच तुम्हाला ते wire. So basically here the paint is removed. And here is the insulator, because the wire should not get connected to the appliance. Safety by earthing of an appliance. So as I told you, how it basically works. 3-pin plug and socket. So pay attention here. Basically, in a 3-pin plug, the top pin is for earthing. Remember always, which is two things: thicker and longer. You must have noticed it is thicker and longer. The pin on the left is for live, and the pin on the right is for the neutral. So whenever there is earth connection, you cannot just plug in anyhow. So whenever there is only whenever there are only two pins, for example, your mobile charger like this, whenever you have only two pins, you can ulta karke bhi dal sakte ho, kuch farak nahi padta because it is AC, doesn't matter. It's not DC, so plus minus dekhne ki koi zarurat nahi hai. But whenever you have earthing, obviously you have to have only one way it can go. It can go upside down. It can go upside down. In the good quality plugs, these are marked with ELN. Good quality असेल तर. The pins are split at the ends to provide a spring action. Sometimes they are split, sometimes they are not, so that you get a tighter fit. So a spring, it's थोडासा असं springy असतं. So once you insert it, it gets a थोडासा ते असं expand होतं and it gets a tighter fit into the holes. So I think आता हे बंद केलेत, असे नाहीयेत आता. Previously we used to get such pins, but nowadays I don't think they are simply cylindrical. Refrigerator चे असतात. The earth pin is thicker and longer than the other two. Give reason. The earth pin is made long so that the earth connection is made first. तुम्ही जर पिन लावायला गेला आणि आधी जर लाईव्ह कनेक्ट झाली आणि समजा काहीतरी फॉल्ट असेल तर शॉक लागणार तुम्हाला. काय उपयोग त्या अर्थ पिनचा? एवढं अर्थ पिन असून काय उपयोग नाही झाला, राईट? सो किती विचार केले बघा, डिझाईन कसं केलंय बघा सगळ्यांनी. सो अर्थ पिन इज लॉंगर सो दॅट इट्स कनेक्शन इज मेड फर्स्ट. This ensures that the safety of the user because if the appliance is defective, then as soon as the live pin gets connected, the current passes to the earth and fuse blows off. Further, the earth pin is thicker so that even by mistake it cannot be inserted into the hole of the socket for the live or neutral wire. And also it is thicker because it gets least resistance path for the current to flow. पण तुम्ही दोन्ही रिझन लिहू शकता. थिकरला हे पण रिझन अलाउड आहे बिकॉज इट इज गिवन इन द टेक्स्ट बुक. नाहीतर काय होईल, सी nobody will mistake for that because it's a triangle and it's not exactly equilateral. आणि ते थिक तेवढ्यासाठी करतात की असं कोणीतरी असं करून. That's why. Okay, the plug is inserted into the socket so as to obtain current from the main. Sometimes two pin plugs are used with an appliance such as table lamp or night lamp or even your chargers consuming lower power. So जहाँ पे lower power consumption है वहाँ पे हमको डरने की जरूरत नहीं है, वहाँ भी अर्थिंग की जरूरत नहीं रहती. इतना करंट नहीं रहता. It has only two pins, the live pin on the left and the neutral pin on the right. सॉकेट अगर तुम देखोगे तो एग्जैक्टली उल्टा है. लेफ्ट में न्यूट्रल है और राइट में लाइव है एंड ऊपर ऑब्वियसली अर्थ होगा. यस, दिस टर्मिनल्स आर कनेक्टेड. ओके, द अपर, हे लक्षात ठेवा, मिरर इमेज आहे. एक्झॅक्टली अपोजिट आहे. येस. ओके, सो सी समटाइम्स द वायर ऑफ द appliance is long and you sit on the table and you just pull the wire like this. Arey nickel, don't do that. It's absolutely disastrous. As a wire कधीही pull करायची नाही. You have to hold the socket. It is made up of good quality plastic, or combination of plastic and rubber. You have to hold the socket, not the wire. So holding the socket, you have to plug in and plug out. The wire असं ओढत नसतं बसायचं. That's very bad. करतात लहान मुलं असं. The hands must be completely dry. And second, the plug pins should fit in the socket tightly. Any loose connection will give rise to sparking and burning of either the socket or the plug. Okay, now again, this is one of the important things, color coding of cables. Very, very important. ऍब्सोल्युटली इम्पॉर्टंट. हे खूप वेळा एक्झाम मध्ये विचारलेलं आहे. लिटरली अल्टरनेट इयर एक्झामला विचारतात. सो ओल्ड कन्व्हेन्शन ऑफ कलर्स आणि न्यू. ओल्ड काय होतं बघा, रेड कलर क्लॅडिंग फॉर लाईव्ह वायर, ब्लॅक फॉर न्यूट्रल अँड ग्रीन फॉर अर्थ. बॉक्सेस म्हणून ग्रीन.
अरे आहे आहे
आहे आहे आहे आहे ठीक आहे ना, सेमच आहे ते, सेमच आहे, इट्स सेम, द सेम थिंग. सो लाईव्ह ओल्ड रेड ब्लॅक ग्रीन RBG उलट है, LNE RBG नॉट RGB. एंड न्यू कन्वेंशन में रेड का हो गया ब्राउन, ब्लैक का हो गया है लाइट ब्लू, एंड अर्थ का ग्रीन था वो ग्रीन ही है और समटाइम्स येलो होता है. ठीक है, MCQ ला विचारतात, ट्रू और फॉल्स ला विचारतात, दोन ओल्ड वाले पण विचारतात. ठीक है, प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस बॉक्स. व्हेरी व्हेरी इंपॉर्टंट. So what is the use of color coding? Basically it sets a standard. नाहीतर कोणी काही वापरेल, उद्या कोण म्हणेल नाही 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 मला तर व्हायलेट कलर आवडतो, मी व्हायलेट वापरतो, मला ऑरेंज वापरतो, मी ऑरेंज वापरतो. अरे ऐसे कैसे चलेगा? बिल्डिंग बांध के कोई चला गया तब इलेक्ट्रिशियन अलग था, जब बिल्डिंग में लोग रहने के लिए आएंगे, उसको कुछ काम करना है, राइट, दे हैव टू डू सम मॉडिफिकेशंस, देन दे अगेन विल कॉल इलेक्ट्रिशियन. अँड कुणीतरी आवडतं म्हणून ऑरेंज कलरची वायर लावली आहे, हाउ इज सपोज टू नो किसमें क्या चल रहा है? एंड नाउ डेज वी ऑल हैव कन्सिल्ड वायरिंग एंड प्लंबिंग. कोणाला काहीच कळत नाही बाहेरनं कुठनं वायर चालली, कसं चाललंय, राईट? So it's very difficult. So that's why these are the conventions used. So looking at the wire, the electrician knows which wire is what. Okay. All right. High tension wires. Okay. The high tension wires म्हणजे जे टॉवरचे असतात ना, which come from the power generation station or grid to the substation. Those are high tension wires. If current exceeds the limit due to short circuit or high voltage, the wire may burn due to excessive heating and it may cause fire. To avoid it, for high voltage and heavy current, a special wire called high tension wire is used. Underline two properties. A high tension wire has low resistance, of course, because it has to carry high amount of current, right? And large surface area. Large surface area, matlab they are very thick, and instead of making only one thick wire like this, what they do, they make a bunch of wires. So basically असे छोटे 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 वायर्स असतात, त्याचा असा बंच तयार करतात. तुम्ही नायलॉनची दोरी बघितली आहे का? तसं तसं ते छोटे छोटे वायर्स असतात, त्याचं ते असं बंच तयार करतात. Like a not a ray of light but a beam of light. So small wires make a bunch of this, and that is how it is done. The resistance is kept low so as to allow heavy current to pass through it. The surface area is made large so that it radiates the heat produced more quickly to the surroundings. Please underline this. The question will be asked like this: give any two properties of high resistance wire. Okay. And why are they made so, right? Therefore, instead of taking a single thick wire of low resistance as the high tension wire, it is made by twisting together a number of thin wires insulated from each other. This provides a large surface area as compared to a single thick wire. So this is how it is made. Instead of making one thick wire, small wires are bunched together. Safety precautions while using electricity, again same thing, याच्यामध्ये काही वेगळं असं नाही आहे. Just go through it, right? Check the earthing connections from time to time. Okay. Check fuses from time to time. Do not touch with wet hands. Okay. Do not operate high voltage appliances by yourself if you don't know anything about it. Okay. And so on and so forth. All right, so our question करूया आपण. An electric motor of power 3 kilowatt is to be operated at mains of 220 volt. Find the current rating of the fuse to be connected to the motor. So current rating मतलब हमको क्या निकालना है? एम्पियर मतलब I निकालना है. एम्पियर मतलब I निकालना है. So what is the formula? Power is equal to voltage into current. P is equal to VI. So I is equal to P upon V, because it is rated na, rated आहे म्हणून. So 3 kilowatt is 3000 watt. divided by 220 volt. So if you divide this, you will get 13.6 ampere as the maximum current. Okay, the current will not exceed this amount, but the rating of the fuse must be slightly greater than 13.6. Now the fuse doesn't come in 13.8 or 14 or 14.5. The fuse comes after 13, it comes in 15. So you have to use the fuse 15 ampere, not less but slightly more. Oh, a house has mains fuse of 5 ampere rating, 5 bulbs each of 60 watt. ह्याला important mark करा, हा क्वेश्चन बोर्ड मध्ये येऊन गेलेला आहे. 5 bulbs each of 60 watt and 2 tube lights each of 40 watt are used simultaneously. मतलब एक साथ. So find the current drawn from the mains of 220 volt and the number of additional bulbs each of 100 watt which can be or which can also be lighted on a festival day. So this second part is interesting. So first of all, let us try to find how much power is being consumed. So 5 bulbs, 60 watt. So how much power? 300 watt, 5 into 60. 2 tube lights of 40 watt, 2 into 40, 80. So how much total power? 380 watt. What is the voltage of mains? 220 volt. So if you use power is equal to voltage into current formula, I is equal to P upon V, that is 380 upon 220, that is 1.73 ampere. Excess current available which can be safely used is 5 ampere minus 1.73 ampere. Why? Because the fuse is 5 ampere. So the wire and fuse can carry 5 ampere current. लेकिन यहाँ पे टोटल करंट कितना यूज हो रहा है? ओनली 1.73 एम्पियर यूज हो रहा है. तो अब और कितनी क्षमता है उसमें? 3.27 एम्पियर की क्षमता है उसमें. करंट ड्रॉन बाय ईच बल्ब ऑफ 100 watt at 220 volt, I is equal to P upon V, that is 100 upon 220, which is 0.45 ampere. Number of additional bulbs of 100 watt which can be lighted on a festival day. आता तुम्ही म्हणाल की सी नंबर राइट इज इक्वल टू टोटल एक्सेस करंट मतलब ये हाँ डिवाइडेड बाय करंट ड्रॉन बाय ईच बल्ब. सिंपल. व्हाट इज करंट ड्रॉन बाय ईच बल्ब? 0.45 एम्पियर. हर एक बल्ब, उन्होंने कितने बल्ब पूछा है, ट्यूबलाइट थोड़ी पूछा है. सो एक बल्ब कितना करंट ड्रॉ करता है? 0.45 एम्पियर करंट ड्रॉ करता है. सो टोटल करंट कितना है हमारे पास? 3.27 डिवाइडेड बाय करंट ड्रॉन बाय ईच बल्ब. सो यू गेट 7.3. 7.3 इज अ ऑड नंबर. यू कांट गो 8. अगर 8 में तुम जाओगे तो करंट एक्सीड हो जाए. हाँ, 3.27 से एक्सीड होगा मतलब 5 से भी एक्सीड होगा. दैट इज नॉट करेक्ट. So you have to settle at 7, which is lesser. So 7 more bulbs can be lighted during the festival days. Is this clear, everyone? Okay, complete the following sentences. A fuse is a short piece of wire of high resistance. Of course, resistivity, but resistance. And a material of low melting point. Around 200 degrees Celsius. A fuse wire is made up of an alloy of dash and dash, lead and tin. If the current in a circuit exceeds the current rating of the fuse wire, it melts. A fuse is connected in series with the live wire. Higher the current rating, thicker or wider is the fuse wire, not lengthy. I told you yesterday that the length of the fuse wire is immaterial. Okay, तो इक्वेशन मध्ये येतच नाही कुठे ते. ठीक आहे. ओके, सिंपल आहेत हे क्वेश्चन्स, लॉजिकल आहेत. हाऊ डज द करा फेज वायर. लाईव्ह वायर इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड फेज वायर. फेज म्हणतात त्याला. आपल्या घरामध्ये जे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी असते त्याला सिंगल फेज एसी म्हणतात. सिंगल फेज एसी. आणि जे इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये लागतात त्याला 3 फेज AC म्हणतात. ओके, बरं. क्वेश्चन 8 बघा. हाऊ डज द थिकनेस लेंथ ऑफ फ्यूज वायर डिपेंड ऑन द करंट रेटिंग? थिकनेस, more the current rating, more is the thickness. Length not applicable. Length not affected. Length not affected. Okay, two fuse wires, 5 ampere and 20 ampere. Which of the two is thicker and longer?
20. तुम्ही काय बोलले?
20 is thicker and longer. Longer winger काय नाही, same length. अरे same length ना, doesn't matter. Length is immaterial. Length is not a factor, deciding factor for the rating of the fuse. Remember, a tricky question hai ha. Okay, explain the meaning of the statement. The current rating of a fuse is 5 ampere. What is the meaning?
The appliance runs.
The safe limit of the current is 5 ampere.
बरोबर होतं सर.
मग safe limit कुठे वापरला शब्द?
अर्थातच होतं.
The safe limit of the current that can pass through the appliance or the appliance can handle is what? 5 ampere. 11th, a fuse is rated 8 ampere. Can it be used with an electrical appliance of rating 5 kilowatt 200 volt? नाही, करून बघा सर, नाही करायचं. P is equal to V I is equal to P upon V. So P किती आहे? 5000 watt divided by 200 volt.
25.
You have 25 ampere. ये 25 और ये 8 है, चलेगा क्या? नहीं चलेगा. शॉर्ट सर्किट नहीं, फ्यूज उडेल सारखा, अप्लायन्स चालूच होणार नाही. ओके, 12th क्विकली आपण करू. मग तो होमवर्क ते कराल तुम्ही. But 12th, an electric kettle is rated 3 kilowatt. So power is equal to 3 kilowatt. That is 3000 watt. Okay, voltage is equal to potential difference is 250 volt. Give reason whether this kettle can be used in a circuit which contains a fuse of current rating 13 ampere. तो कैसे करेंगे? I is equal to P upon V, same thing. So 3000 divided by 250. 300 divided by 25 is 12 ampere. So 12 ampere is the current and fuse rating is 13 ampere. Okay, great. No problem. It is slightly above 12. Yes, it is done. If the fuse was given 11 or 10 or something, then it wouldn't be possible. All right. What is the purpose of a switch? You know this, I guess you know this. So there are a few questions which we need to cover that we will do on Monday. Okay, that we will do on Monday, and we may start with next chapter on Monday also. Okay, so I'll see you on Monday. Till then, give probability test. Today's Saturday test online. Okay, bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you,